My name is Liam Morris. I'm from the Mechanical and Industrial Engineering Department, the School of Engineering. And my apologies today for not being able to attend. I'm just coming out of isolation there. My talk today is similar to what Debbie was talking there a few moments ago. And also I'll be taking some of the themes of what Cormac Flynn's earlier talk today on UDL. So I'm looking at allowing engineering students to choose a presentation style through a UDL Lens. So I'm just going to check, does this clicker on my phone work? It's just, let's see there. Yes, it does work. So first thing is, what is UDL? It's already been very well explained so far today. So it's just briefly, it's inspired by cognitive neuroscience research, and it's there to help us improve our understanding of what happens during the learning process. And we all agree that we all are teaching a range of diverse students with different learner needs. So we're trying to remove the one-fits-all approach to learning. So what did I do? Like Debbie, I also completed the UDL for teaching and learning during the national rollout for the first semester of this academic year that was hosted by AHEAD and UCD. And I completed the badge. As part of that then, for the rest of this presentation, I'm going to go through my redesign activity. So my redesign activity then was looking at one of the 3 neural networks. So that was the frontal lobe, and it's the how of learning. So providing learners with multiple action and expression. How I did that was I provided a choice for an assessment handout, similar to what Debbie explained for her example. So how did I do this? I teach 4th year biomedical and mechanical engineering students. And for the redesign activity, it was for the first semester module, which was medical device for soft tissues. And I also did a similar choice for assessment for medical device for hard tissues as well in the 2nd semester. I never considered providing a choice before for an assessment. Try and get this clicker here to work. My phone's gone off there, okay. So it's a common practice for presentations. For example, in conferences, we always had the option of doing a podium or a poster presentation. During the COVID pandemic, you could do recorded video presentations or a presentation like I'm doing today via Zoom or Teams. And for the redesign activity that we had to do for AHEAD during the first semester, we also had a choice of either doing a written report or a video. So what I did then is for semester 1, they have to do a review paper. So it's on a medical device or a therapy. So I have a list there, and that's just one example of a list of topics, from robotic surgery to esophageal stents to heart replacements, nebulizers, etc. In the 2nd semester then, students then for the 2nd module that I have, they review up and coming medical startups and medical innovations. So they would review Enterprise Ireland's big ideas and also Cleveland Clinic's videos on medical innovations. And this provided students then with a choice on which topic to select. So what the students had to do then was they were provided guidelines and a rubric then on how to write a review article, and these are 2 examples of students' review articles. As part of this redesign activity, I provided students a choice on how they were to present in class on their review articles. So I then did a poll beforehand to see was there an appetite for such a choice of presentation style, and 97% said yes. So 29 out of 30 respondents said yes, and this was done anonymously over Mentimeter. With this clicker. So then I asked them then, what file format would you consider for presenting? So I gave them a choice, either a brochure, a poster, a video, an in-class presentation, or some other format that they could come to me and suggest. And they came back, and you could see there that there was a wide variety of choices initially that the students would consider. Now, at this stage, they didn't have to select what they just selected. Now, I left it up to them to consider their options. So the various styles there. So the guidelines then was that all presentation types were to be shown in the classroom. They were allocated 4 to 5 minutes. I provided a rubric then for each of the styles, so in-class presentation, recorded presentation and video, and for a poster and a brochure as well. So what was presented on the day? 34 students presented video, in-class presentation and poster. So similar to what Debbie was saying there, they did look at more of the presentation styles. From that, the majority was video, so a video recorded presentation, and that increased from 59% to 76% from semester 1 to semester 2. These were saved in either PowerPoint format or MP4. In-class presentation then was 35% for semester 1, and that reduced to 21% semester 2. And the poster then was 6% semester 1 and 3% in the second semester. So the feedback then from the students, I designed a Microsoft Forms questionnaire. I got ethical approval. There was 15 questions, so it ranged from students' consent to open and close-ended questions. And there was also a Likert scale there as well. And I had 17 respondents. So the close-ended questions then were, did you like having a choice on how to present your review paper topic, and would you prefer this choice for other assessment types? 94% said yes. The open-ended questions then, or what comments do you have regarding having a choice on selecting your review paper? This was very positive, and some of the responses were they liked the options, so we're just plucking from the survey there. They found it very enjoyable. They found it that they had more of an interest in it when they could select their own topic, and they found it was easier and it wasn't being limited either. They also, some of the comments back on that was having a choice helps the author feel more free to create the review in their own way. I think it's much easier to talk about something you choose to write about. And another favourable comment was a very good idea. Get to research a topic you find interesting. Another open-ended question then, what comments do you have regarding having a choice on assessment method submission? Again, this was very positive. They found it played to their strengths. They found it was less stressful. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a few slides in time. They liked having the option. They found it was being that they could be very creative. It suits them better, and they also felt more comfortable as well. And some of the comments back on that is, I think it takes a lot of pressure off knowing that you can choose how to present your work. Very good idea. Let students play to their strengths with less stress. It's good to give students the option so that they can showcase their best work. And it's an opportunity to be creative in a way of communicating. Now, the only negative that came back here was, the only negative aspect is that a creative work also takes more time and effort. I also did a 5-point Likert scale as well on how much they would agree and disagree with the following statements. Now, I won't go through all the statements, I'll just highlight a few of them here. So, fairly high and strongly agree and agree as well. And if you combine them, let's combine them there, you can see that providing, so at the top of the list was providing a choice for assessment type should be considered for other modules. Another two that came up on top of this list was providing a choice for assessment method should be considered a permanent feature of this module, and assessment method choice can showcase your best work and play to your strengths. And one more that was up there as well, assessment method choice reduces stress level associated with assignment hand-ups. And a very interesting one there, that a few students actually presented the traditional in-class presentation, even though they explicitly stated that it reduced their stress level. So that's an interesting piece of feedback there, that if I didn't give them a choice in an assessment method, would they have felt stressed, even though I would have probably have asked them to do an in-class presentation. So in conclusion, then I've kind of two conclusions. Looking at UDL, it is nice to give them choices, but sometimes that might not be the best scenario either. So my first one here, I was very reluctant to provide learners with alternative options for writing the review paper, because academic writing is a skill that's needed, particularly for engineers. Because if you're looking for employment in the medtech sector or pursuing a postgraduate degree, you are expected to write reports, journal articles, or grant applications, for example. The main observation from this redesign activity was very, very positive feedback. The students found it very enjoyable. They didn't find it limiting, so they had a choice in the topic they selected and also the method that they could present it. They also selected what best suits their own needs, so they found that this was they could be more creative here. And students also learned from each other on the different file formats that they could save it. Because I did find that from the first semester to second semester, the videos improved, the sound quality improved, lots of various features improved there. And to finish off then, it also reduced their stress levels as well. So that's the end of my talk there. I think that questions are coming towards the end. I'm not too sure.